afternoon. It's my honor and privilege to welcome you to this edition of BW Dialogue. Today we have a special guest, somebody I met a couple of years back, and I've always felt the warmth whenever I interact with him. Not only when I interact with him, but when I see him interacting with others, I feel that he brings a unique energy to that, compassion to that. We are talking to the multifaceted, somebody who really doesn't need an introduction, but as is customary, I will give you a brief introduction into him. But let me welcome Mr. Ashish Vidyarthi, who has lived many lives in one life, to this conversation. Though most of you know him as somebody who's been part of Bollywood, who's been a very versatile actor, and which he has enthralled us through his various performances in various movies. But let me formally read out his profile to you. Today, we're going to talk to him about communication. We're going to talk to him about what has he been doing over the last 5 years, how he's become a public speaker, how he has shifted gears to coach people, to nurture people, how he has become a communicator, and how he's able to bring stories of hope, joy, and stories of trust. I follow him on his social media handles, and I see there's lots of stories which have human centricity in them that he tries to bring to all of his audiences. So, Mr. Vidyarthi, welcome to BW Dialogue. First of all, let me briefly introduce you. You really don't need an introduction, but you were born in Delhi to a Malayali father and a Bengali mother. Both your mother was a very renowned Kathak guru, and your father was an expert in cataloging and archiving the vanishing performing arts of India. You started your studies at the Shiv Niketan school on Haley Road. Then you joined the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, and you then attended the Hindu College, studied history there. And that's where your, introduction with theatre happened. You entered theatre, and you joined a group called Sambhav, which was run by a lot of NSD alumni, and you started performing. Then you attended the National School of Drama till 1990 and associated yourself with another theatre group called Act One, which Mr. N.K. Sharma ran. So you did all this, and I can go on about your movies. Your first movie was Anand in Kannada.
That's the only part which is off, but otherwise you're spot on. My first release was Dhrokal.
Dhrokal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ananda is what Wikipedia.
Dhrokal came in it says 1986 Anand, and Dhrokal in 1994.
Yeah.
But many movies I have enjoyed, almost all your Hindi movies. Your character Raman Bhai in Is Raat Ki Subah Nahi was clearly somebody, which was a very powerful kind of performance. So I can go on, but we will talk about today is your role reversal. You're training other people to live their lives better. So first of all, I want to start by asking you, how have been your last 9 months personally and professionally?
Very interesting, very interesting. First of all, Swagat hai. Swagat hai, Dr. Annurag Batra. So it's an absolute pleasure to interact with you. So last 9 months have been revelationary for all of us. We have discovered so many different things. So it's at one point it's boring to even say that what more we discovered. All that I can say is that it has gotten me connected to the fact that I have started to value life a little bit more. I have understood that it can go away sooner than I ever imagined it could. So one takeaway for me is that grateful to the fact that I'm alive, grateful to the fact that my friends, the people that I know I love are taken care of. Grateful for the fact that so many of us have made it. And my wishes for myself and to everyone is that as long as we are alive, if we can do something incredible with our lives, and these 9 months have really reconnected me to the opportunity called life, and that's my amazing takeaway from this period.
Thank you so much. Now, technology is kind of taken over our work, Our children are attending schools from home. We're consuming content sitting at home through the OTT platforms. We're doing our work using video technology. So, in this technology driven world, what is the role of human beings? And I know that over the last few years, you've been coaching, training, motivating, inspiring human beings, and with your theater training, your acting training, your voice that God has gifted you, and the fact that you put so much into whatever you do it professionally and with absolute all in. Uh, what is the role you see for human beings in this? The more digital we become, at least I yearn for physical contact. I yearn for meeting you over a cup of tea. So, give us a sense of how is technology changing the way we live our lives, and what is the role of human beings as we go forward?
So first of all, we are using technology. All right. First of all, we have been using technology through our lives at different times in our life. I remember growing up in Delhi. Earliest years were in Karol Bagh, and I remember one piece of machinery that we had was the refrigerator, and I knew it was a machine because I was not allowed to touch it by my mother, because it was a machine. Bachara choena. Kids don't touch machines. Okay, so the fridge which was there in our house was a piece of machinery, and it was not a bed, it was not a stool, it was a machine. So imagine we have come from there where it is not allowed to touch, and obviously she was caring for me because that machine at that point gave shock. She wanted to save her only child, probably. And probably she didn't want me to eat away the makhan, which I would have loved to eat, just like I'd heard Krishnaji used to have. And his mother never objected, but my mother did. In any case. So imagine from a point where technology was such a new thing, and it was few things in a normal life people had, which was a machine, to now in a world where it's everything around. If you just look around, everything is. Today somebody was talking to me, how healthy are we living in a Wi-Fi environment and stuff like that. Imagine. So for me, I'm very clear that the human being is using machinery, is using technology. The question is for what? Anurag, if you recall, probably eons back, you and I had a conversation on essentially you and I, each one of us, wants to be happy. All right. So if we can just look at ourselves as people who seek happiness, and for that happiness, kuch bhi karega. We'll do whatever. Okay. It just happens that people give us directions saying that, you know what, if you want to be happy, then you do this, and then you get this, then you get seen with this, etc., etc. So those are the signals that we are getting, and then we choose some of them for ourselves. But essentially, the story remains the same. It is my personal quest as a human being to be happy. And when I say my, I actually mean my of anybody who is listening in. For each one of us, it's that quest to be happy. And for that, we go about doing whatever. We study, we dance, we play, we stay together with people, we get married, we travel. Everything is in service of that one thing called happiness. And for that happiness, we choose technology. So I do not at all grudge the fact that technology is playing a role in our life, because we have chosen it. And let's not lament something that we have chosen. And there is no reason for us to lament. All right. For anybody who wants to, like, I have a few friends for years back used to tell me, I want to go to a place where there's no Wi-Fi, there's no connectivity. I said, no, yeah, I don't want to go to such a place. I want to go to a place where there is complete connectivity, and I have the option to put it on, flight mode and switch it off. So I think choice is something that we as human beings really want. And for me, therefore, this entire world, which is technology driven, it has given me access. It has really flattened the world. I can reach out to you. We just set up this conversation. We are having it wherever we are. Okay. And we just had a phone conversation before this, and we are in. Imagine the possibilities that this technology has created. And it is up to us how we use any tool that we want. And that's the choice. And we're going to probably have a conversation today on the choices the choices that you and I make as human beings in our quest for happiness.
Thank you so much, Ashish. Now, let me ask you, I've seen you reinventing yourself as a speaker, as a mentor, as a coach, as a guide. And over the last few years, you've been in demand at corporate conferences, pardon me, at events. Uh, you've been called to share your own journey with the audiences. You've been called to do storytelling. So tell us, how have you reinvented yourself? And is there a playbook to reinvention?
So, so if I, so very, very clearly, necessity is the mother of invention, and for me, as I see it, that we are all drawn towards things. So the question that I ask myself and I ask others is, what is it that you're drawn towards? So I am drawn towards people. I'm drawn towards movement. I am drawn towards journeys, and very important for me is drawn towards doing something amazing each day in my life. All right, now, so for me, reinvention is something which is looked at by others. For me, it's been a journey. And if you look at yourself also, Anurag, and each one of us plays many roles in our lives, all right? And whenever we are at a particular role, we are addressed by that role. We are acknowledged by that role. Similarly, if you just look at it, as you traverse through life, as you journey through life, there are many needs that life throws up for you at that point. And if you're clear that your journey is not about the cubby hole that you have been in for a while, when you realize that your journey is more than that, that is when you start enjoying it, and then you are willing to do anything that is required. All right, and I personally feel that for too long we have imagined ourselves to be, so what do you do? Oh, I do that. Oh, so you are that. So you are that. So first they ask, what do you do? And then they say, okay, so you are that. And it is for me very limiting from how we start relating to ourselves. Definitely, even people. For example, I'm an actor. So imagine when I began acting, it was an alternative thing, right? So I remember in Delhi when I used to tell people that, what do you want to be? And I said, I would want to be an actor. And they will say, oh, very good, very good. So what do you want to be? And then I would say actor. And so it never got, because you can't want to be an actor. Yeah? Okay, I act, okay, but you don't want to be an actor. Now from there, where we have moved today, acting is a profession. So now people are going, what do you want? What do you do? Actor. Oh, you're an actor. Of course, you're an actor. Now you say, okay, you're an actor, but you're also giving, you're working with learning and development. I'm like, one sec, you're an actor, right? So imagine you go and create something alternate, and then that alternate becomes your absolute. And for me, what's exciting in life is that even if people are creating certain absolutes and limiting things for you, if you can keep moving. For me, therefore, the importance as we do our workshops, I allow people to see, imagine the freedom which is available to you and me, that we can make choices. What am I breathing in today? What am I breathing out today? I breathe out with my work each day, right, Anurag? Each day you are creating something afresh. You're engaging in a new aspect of your life. And imagine when we are not bound by somebody else's description of me. Now here's a very interesting thing. For me, therefore, as I moved from being a theatre actor in Delhi to be a Hindi film actor to being an actor across languages, I had to reinvent because I had to stay relevant. And staying relevant is a need which is born out of hunger. I personally feel that human beings, each one of us, if we can stay connected to our hunger, whatever others will call reinventions, whatever others will call your adaptability, is going to be your, it's just going to be part of you. So I don't do things because they are supposed to be reinventions. I do things which I think I need to do at this point. And if we can have an unfettered mind, then there are no limits to what you can. There are no things that you you cannot veer towards. And that's what excites me. The plausibility. You see, how it is. You are at a particular age, I'm at a particular age, and I'm sure if you try and buy insurance, they would have worked out the probabilities of how long you and I can live. They probably also have worked out how long we are going to be in a profession. Guess what? That's their issue. They have got some probabilities. But you and I, if you look at us, you and I are trying to break all those probabilities. You and I are working on possibilities where we do not want to fit into their probability numbers. Because guess what? They say 33% or 28% can make it. Guess what? We want to be part of that 28% or that 33%. We don't care for that other 70 odd percent which cannot make it. So imagine if each human being is not limited by the probabilities set out by others. That's the kind of world which really, where each of us does have that possibility within us. The only question is, do you want to believe in yourself for that? And therefore, for me, as I moved from working cross languages and then started engaging in conversations with corporations, I have to thank a person whom I had never met before that, Emmanuel David. And I had a chance meeting with him on a flight, and he invited me to an event. And he didn't even know of me as an actor. He just saw me saying something to somebody and then invited me. So for me, from that moment to first giving just motivational speeches as an actor, to moving into the learning and development and the human resource world, it has been an eye-opener for me. And for me, what inspires me is that can each eye-opener be a possibility where you allow that new possibility to touch you? All right, really, in the presence of magic, because life is magic, Anurag. Okay, life is magic. You and I are alive by chance. And if we are alive by chance, can we not be limited by what they thought or what I thought we could do?
Absolutely. And I'm excited every time I speak to you. There is a certain enthusiasm, there is a certain energy you bring that does excite the other person, and makes it even more exciting to have a conversation. And talking of conversations, every day you post a story, every week you post a story. I recently read your story. You were in Chennai to do some recording, and you met a lady who you had met 1 year back. Now, just the fact that you went to her home, and I remember in the video it said breakfast wait kar raha hai mera. It's just it is so authentic. There is certain how do you curate your stories? How do these stories come to your mind? Give us a sense of, I know you're the co-founder of Avid Miner. So when you mine avidly, you're able to create contact, and that contact can create content. So give us a sense of how does this process of storytelling come to you?
So even in your question, there was this. Do you know how, when you and I chat, conversations flow? I believe you had some questions for me, but I don't think that you're going into any of those questions that you may have planned.
No, I'll come to that. I remember all the questions.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is
what
I
happens
love.
is, I'm genuinely trying to have a conversation with you about what is in my mind about you, what I've seen, what I've experienced, what I've consumed in terms of content. So that is,
and that's what excites me.
Consciously there. It is.
Yes.
I don't need to prepare while I prepared for it, because it is, it helps you feel confident, and it also shows seriousness. But beyond that, there is a certain amount of content in the mind basis, consumption of your content, our own interactions, and so on.
Yeah.
So go on.
That's the point that I want to illustrate. We are flowing. We are really flowing. For me, stories are things that you're not hiding. There are so many things that are happening around us, but we try and curtail it. We don't want to talk about it. We want the right thing to come out in a right form. It's very tiring. It needs a lot of memory. It requires me to think of what did I tell him the last time about what I do. So imagine a world where the child will just say, I haven't had food this morning. And the parents say, hey, don't say that. Why do you say that? You had biscuit. Don't say that. So now the child is being taught right from the beginning to say the right thing, which will show people in the right light. Now, that's what over the years I could manage to shrug off. Then I discovered that as an actor, as I moved, there was a certain image that people had of me, and then they wanted me to play to that image. And that is very tiring, and that's one of the reasons why celebrities become celebrities. Because people like, everybody will just put, so you're a celebrity, and then you're that person, you're that, and then they speak in hushed tones, and then they also say that you shouldn't be doing this, you can't be doing this, you have to wear like this, you have to talk like this. And at one point, the celebrity becomes a victim of an image that was created, and then the celebrity starts living it. Now, welcome to real life. You and I, any one of us have started living lives which we want to live in service of others, what others want. But you know what? People are really touched by authentic conversations. Conversations which are like, how are you, Anurag? What's up, my friend? Kaisa hai mera dost? Bandhu, kya haal hai?
I like the way you say बंधु. दोस्त शब्द आप बहुत प्रयोग करते हैं अपने. मैं जितनी बार भी आपसे वार्तालाप करता हूँ, एक तो शुक्रन. Even in your conversations when I watch them, you express gratitude and you use the word shukran a lot. Yes. And you use the word bandhu a lot. Bandhu,
yeah. Bandhu is thanks to my father. My father used to refer to me as Mitravar. My father studied Sanskrit at the Ashish Vidyarthi, and then he became a freedom fighter. But he used to refer to me as Mitravar. He would encourage me to refer to him as Mitravar, Mitra. And so my closest friends and people that I meet, I kind of really relate to each one as a dost, bandhu. And for me, it allows me to vent my, what I'm happening. In fact, can I be happy with you? Can I show people that, yeah, this didn't happen yet? Why should I be in a particular way for you to accept? Why should I think? Because look at this funny thing. I don't even know what you will accept or not. So why should I live in a supposition? So I've always felt that we have to be extraordinary at our work. So be it at acting, be it in my speeches, be it in the workshops that I do across boards, right from the top to the sales force or wherever. I have to be extraordinary at my work. I'm very clear on that. People don't pay me for my attitude. People pay me for my work. Now, after that, what I've infused into my work is the simplicity of things. Imagine if when you're working in an organization and you're the absolute, and this is the period, Anurag, we are going through a period where we do not know what tomorrow will be like. There is no precedent. Okay, there is no precedent, so there are no SOPs. Even the SOPs that happened were set up in 2020 are going to go away. 2021, some new interesting things are coming up. Now, imagine in this world, what is the world of that leader who was looked up to? Yes, sir, tell me, sir. Ma'am, yes, tell me, ma'am, what to do next? Can sir and ma'am be able to say, I don't know, but I'm willing to walk with you? That's what excites me. The ability of each one of us, we have that ability to say, I don't know it. In fact, I think one of the most powerful things available to a human being, and I use it often, is I don't know. The moment I'm free to use I don't know. In fact, just before this event, if you notice, just before we entered this event, I was asking, which is the platform that you use? Okay, I use that platform. You people suggested that platform. I said, oh, great. I didn't know that. And you know what? I just discovered it.
Curiosity. Childlike curiosity and being, authentic and simple.
And Anurag, I just want to catch it very interesting. Just look at this term, childlike curiosity, as if curiosity needs to die at the age of 16 or 18 or 21 when you started driving and got the alcohol license. Imagine, why would we say that? How will it be if we can? And that's one of the things that we are working at Avid Miner, on the curiosity quotient. When we are looking at people, when we are looking at 360 degrees assessment. How about looking at the curiosity quotient of people? Their quotient to be wowed, their quotient to believe in extraordinariness, not average, not delivery. Imagine how will it be if you and I are not demarcated by the targets. Imagine if we are actually pulled towards the dream, which is so big that is very hard for us to even explain it. But imagine that on a day-to-day basis, we are playing a game which even we think is extraordinary. Now that belief can only be there when you can have the curiosity. Where I say that, Anurag, I'm trying to do this. Guess, how can we do this, my friend? Because I'm very clear that people around, there is someone, somewhere there who knows something that you need. And all it takes for you and I to just reach out.
Absolutely. Now, I was thinking, childlike, because we were conditioned.
Yeah, we're conditioned.
Children have curiosity.
Yeah.
People who lose their hair have no curiosity.
Sure.
Either they know everything or the curiosity
They're
dies.
supposed to know it.
Yeah. So either we know everything or we are supposed to not be curious. Okay.
Yeah.
This is how conditioning, even in our language.
Yes.
I did use the word childlike curiosity.
And that's what's usually used, Anurag, as if it's something, because you see, we feel very embarrassed. Even growing up, the child is growing up, as the child is curious, the child looks up at something. Says, "What is that?" The parent will say, "You know that, no? Did you ask? We told." So the parents start doing it. Don't ask. You don't look stupid. Now, I'm lucky that I started off being an actor. Now, one of the fantastic things that you know as an actor is that acting is to break what you created. Acting is not me. Acting is how else can I be? So therefore, it is about continuously breaking oneself. What else is life, my friend? I ask this question often when I'm in leadership summits. You've heard of this term. In theater, we use this term called improvisation, right? So I'm just it's a trick question, but still I'll ask you. Have you ever done improvisation?
We do it all the time.
Welcome to life.
We do
Exactly.
it every life.
So the point is,
it is improvisation.
that's the word. Life is improvisation.
Right.
And imagine, improvisation is the antithesis of scripted. Life isn't scripted, my friend.
Right.
Life, and you, who will know it better than you, Anurag? You have been continuously experimenting, improvising with life. I've seen how you are moved over the years that I know you, and just imagine if the fear of failure, if the fear of what will people think, what will people say comes into you, you'll never be able to do what you're doing. And I promise you about one thing: if I'm scared of what will they say, I'll be really scared. Because, I don't want to look stupid. Imagine if I'm not scared of looking stupid. So I have a joke just to let you know. There are people who will say things to you, and they have said things to me. And so, they say, like I'm 55, Anurag. And then they will say, Ashish, laga hua hai, huh? Laga hua hai. Still at it, huh? And I say, hi, yeah. And then just check with them. Hey, listen here. Are you trying to insult the insulted? I'm insulted, my friend. Don't try to insult me any further. Because I'm good with it. If you tell me that you're trying something new again, I'll say, yeah, I'm moving. And
by the way, for our viewers, I want to say that while he has this role, he's the co-founder of Avid Miner, and he's very active on the lecture circuit, on the thought leadership circuit, for his talks, and he gets deeply, whatever little I've seen, gets deeply into the conversation. He prepares for it. He tries to bring something that is relevant. But he's also very active in acting. He just, last night he recommended a Z5 short series to me.
Disney, it's on Disney Hotstar.
Hotstar.
Justice.
Hotstar. Yeah. And I have not yet watched it, but
please watch it.
On the weekend. So, he's just, there are different layers to Ashish Vidyarthi. If you're lucky, you get to multiple of them. But, it depends on what role he's playing at that point of time. But storytelling comes naturally to him because of his persona, voice, and content that he has. So let me now ask you. I have to tell you this funny, thing. I haven't watched too many movies in the lockdown. I've been busy working. Uh, but over the last 1.5 months, I watched Ludo. When I was watching Ludo, and Pankaj Tripathi has done an amazing job.
Yes.
And I've never met him, and I'm looking forward to meeting him someday. And then, of course, I've seen Mirzapur,
Yes.
and now Kagaz has come on Z5. And I was thinking, by the way, you know, you start hating the character that he has in Ludo. I mean, it's lovable, but it's hateable.
Yeah.
It's funny, it's. And I said, maybe Ashish should have done that role. He would have done a fantastic role. Because I remember, I don't watch movies too many times. Watch it once, maybe 10 movies I've watched. I watched Is Raat Ki Subah Nahi. I think Sudhir Mishra directed it, right? Sudhir Mishra directed it?
That's right.
And it was such a lovely movie. It had all the. Then, of course, you've done some roles which are of a certain kind, but you had the versatility of doing all kinds of roles. And of course, you can never take an actor out, and there is no age. Somebody became an actor at 40 and continues to be an actor till 80. Somebody became an actor at 20 and continues to be. So I don't think there is a role for actors just basis their age. It is basis their evolution. It is basis their persona, and new roles and new ideas and new scripts come. So tell us, how much are you connected with the acting world? And you talked to me about this Disney Hotstar series. Tell me, how much time are you spending on acting?
So it's an interesting question, and I also get the underlying thing of it. So let's face it, an actor is a professional who's looking for an opportunity. All right. So very clearly, over the years as I've traveled, I've done about 230 plus films across 11 languages. Now I think the number is higher. Having said that, and this OTT coming up, and I did a Mission Over Mars. I think that was my first OTT work, which is on I think All to Paula Balaji. Very interestingly achieved. So for me, I was coming back again, trying to get some interesting work, and that's where I say welcome to real life. In real life, I'm an actor and I'm looking for work. I'm looking for interesting work. Imagine if the world is not about what I think I deserve. The world is about what happens and what do you do when you get an opportunity to do. So just to let you know, criminal justice, which has been very well received, and Pankaj is playing the main lead in that. And he's done a splendid job in that. And you know what? The role that I got, it was not supposed to be done by me. Some other actor had a date issue, and they asked us, and we had a day. We just shot for a day before lockdown, and then the lockdown happened, and then we completed it post the lockdown. But what I'm trying to say is that since then, over this entire lockdown period, this entire starting from end January up till May, nearly all the days, a whole lot of days of mine are now I'm shooting some project in Telugu, some project in Tamil, a whole lot of OTTs in Hindi, and a couple of films in Hindi. Now, that's the odd thing about life. Welcome to life, because life doesn't do things as you plan. Life throws things at you. And then it is up to you how you handle it. I have seen the longest period, just to let you know, about 5 years back. There were 2 years when I did not shoot for a single day. Not a single day shooting in 2 days for 2 years. And trust me, Anurag, when you are an actor, when your career is known to the world, when they keep asking you, what happened, no shooting today? No shooting? Aajkal shooting nahi kar rahe? Picture nahi karte? How do you survive that? How do you survive people asking you questions that, hey, listen, I think you're finished, right? Now, this is one of the great tutelages for me when I got that, you know what? I have something more than my career according to what people say. I am a present continuous as a husband. I'm a present continuous as a father. I'm a present continuous as a human being. Now imagine if I choose that I will not be determined by the longevity of this career or that career. If I can really get that, I will find honest ways to earn a living. Now that's what happened to me. as I moved in directions while looking for work, I got that I can also be an actor and also be a speaker and also be somebody who kind of coaches people and also be a traveler and also be a photographer and also be a blogger. You know, Tata Steel ad which said that hum ispat bhi banate hain, we also make steel. It opened up a whole new world for me, Anurag. A whole new world. When I got that, there can be many aspects to me. Now, we all realize that there are many aspects to us, but we stick to the ones that people say that we are good at. And we're very scared to step out of it. All that I invite people is to step out, my friend. Because inside, you're just waiting. You're waiting to wither away. Because you're just this. When we give ourselves multiple opportunities, multiple facets, when we hone our multiple facets, guess what? We are opening ourselves up to multiple victories. I personally feel that humans need to experience victory. For too long, we this entire 2020, people continuously tell stories, horrible stories about it. I'm happy with the horrible stories, except I don't want to hear them. You know why? Because I don't care, because 2020 has been a part of me. 2020 has been a part of you, each one of us. Imagine we are trying to disown something which we are already part of, which already is a part of us. So imagine we will have different places in our career. So you may be I'm talking about me as an actor, you may be in corporate world. There are many stages when you can't find a way ahead. Guess what? Life is just saying, it's, I call it the tube moment. It's all inside the tube, you to press it. 2020 has been a huge presser. So stuff came out. And guess what? Now I'll take you to an extended part. This is a part of my workshop, and I'll share that with you. Imagine if the tube is there and it's being pressed, something steps out. Now you know what's creatively available to you and me? Creatively, it is available that we puncture more holes so that we can come out in various forms. Is it scary? Yes, it is, my friend. But what is life without scare? What is life without discovering, I could do this? Now, the moment you're okay with failure, the moment I'm okay with saying that, you know what, this is the role that I did, these are the roles that I haven't done. The moment I'm okay with my second-hand vehicle, because I choose to buy a second-hand vehicle. I don't need to flaunt a BMW because I do not have it. I go for meetings in my second-hand Toyota Camry. Okay, and I'm comfortable with it. You know why? Because I realize that for someone else, I will not put in that extra money. And I have discovered the freedom when people realize that I am and you are known for your work, not for what you wear, not for what you use. Okay, and as long as you and I as human beings can excel at who we are, and by excel, I really mean excel, like really good, like really passionate about it. That's when nobody can ignore you. So my invite to me each day is that, Ashish, can be extraordinary. All right. So just to let you know, at Avid Miner, our motto is extraordinariness experienced. So we are all about that extraordinariness has to be experienced by a client. Extraordinariness has to be experienced by the people who are participating, and they in turn embody extraordinariness experienced. And what else is life? Imagine if we can spend each day being extraordinary version of ourselves, being amazing at the stuff that we are doing each day. That's my job, yeah, but I will do it amazingly well. I'll do so well that people will say, wow, yaar, super, yaar. So that's the game. The game is not for me to pull you down. The game is for me to pull myself up so big that you say, oh, what was that? And imagine when we can inspire teams to do that together. For me, dear friend, wherever we are, whatever that we are doing, and therefore, we have created something called Nurturing People, which is an Avid Miner creation, that in this time and age, where we are all heading towards a digital transformation, what happens to the human being? Imagine the human being even earlier felt that I'm just a cog here, I don't matter, they're going to use and throw me. Imagine that human being is now preparing for a digital transformation which is actually going to throw him out. How will it be if that human being really gets that this is now an opportunity for me to reskill, upskill, really learn some new things? In fact, I kind of tweeted the other day, if your life is about extraordinariness, what will it? Who is going to force you to learn? You will want to learn. I want to learn because I don't want to be ordinary. I want to be extraordinary.
Absolutely.
So I will scrape. I will fall. I'll leap. I'll ask. I'll reach out. And as we give people the dignity to learn, dignity to grow, then I have learned that at 55, I'm hungry, really hungry, Anurag. Hungry to grow, hungry to create whole new worlds. I've never been an entrepreneur. And at Avid Miner, we are very clear that we're going to alter how people are looking at work in organizations. We are very clear that with human-centric development, when human beings across levels, across positions, when they get that, if they can have that fire in them to do that extra each day, that's when extraordinariness is sourced from within. It's not what a company is asking. It's not what my team leader is asking. It is what I want to provide to my day, because this is my life, and I'm passionate about it. That's something which I apply on my life, whatever that I'm doing. So a whole lot of film projects are happening at the same time. A whole lot of conversations like this. These are happening. In fact, complete two conversations, two back-to-back conversations tomorrow. And the funny thing is how lives meet. So early morning, 7 o'clock, I go with my entire setup. I set it up at my friend's place. Then I do a look test for a film which we are beginning to shoot at the end of February. Come back and do back-to-back events. Come back here. So imagine when you get creative with opportunity. Now, opportunity is there, my friend. It's just that it is asking you, do you want to step out of where you are?
Absolutely. That's why you've become a Vidyarthi.
I am a Vidyarthi, thanks to my father.
You become a learner.
Shows, yes.
And that lifelong learning keeps you hooked. It keeps you excited. It keeps you discover new facets of yourself every now and then. And I think it's an exciting journey. There are a couple of questions. Let me take those. There's a question from Vishmohan. He says it's easy to get motivated and to start an initiative, but how do you maintain that enthusiasm day in and day out?
You have to motivate yourself each day, my friend. You have to create a dream so big that it gets you alive. See, many people ask this question. So how long? One motivational session, how long will it last? How long will the effect last? I said just as long as it lasts. Remember, demotivation is not a one-time thing. Demotivation is happening each moment. Each WhatsApp message which is telling you how pathetic life is, each Facebook post, each news that you read, each conversation that you have, this all continuously demotivating us. You know, they say, yeah, somebody is usually knows that. I know why that's happening. Everybody is demotivating you. So definitely we have to get that motivation is something which you continuously need, and therefore you have to do drip irrigation. You know, and that's one of the reasons that we thought of nurturing people, where we are looking at it as human-centered human consulting. You know, when we are consulting with human beings over a period of time, it's not going to be just one-off. And it is important, Anurag. And this gentleman who asked this question, you need to motivate yourself each day. I have to perk myself up each day. Each day you have to create something amazing for yourself. So one step, which is very, very, two steps, I'll share 2 steps with you, which are very important for you to, is that actively see a dream which is bigger than you, far beyond what you have. Really actively do it, all right? And then second part, share it with others. Share it that I want to achieve that. A couple of very interesting things will happen. First of all, if you're lucky enough, if your dream is big enough, they will laugh at you. They will laugh. Oh, really, huh? They will laugh at you. If you're lucky enough, it's big enough. Because that will say, okay, now that you laughed at me, ab to main karunga. Now I will do it. And then you will find people with whom you can fulfill your dreams. All right? Now, the second part is you will also hear some people who will say, you know what? That inspires me. I also have a dream. That's when you make a team. That's when you make a team of friends or team in your organization who are together fulfilling dreams. It's very important to have a dream big enough to wake you up. Don't go for the normal tedium. Regular day, it's a Monday. Monday. What nonsense, my friend. It's a day in which you're alive. So if you're alive, let's celebrate it, my friend. I don't care what, like a self-employed actor, we don't have a Monday, we don't have a Sunday. Any day that we are working, we are on ready to work. We don't have the luxury of an HR taking care of things for us. No, why? We got to take care of ourselves. So remember, look at yourself as self-employed wherever you are. That you will wake up and create something amazing for yourself. You're not doing it for your organization. Do it for yourself. Do something so amazing each day that they say, hey, listen, we want to continue to have you there with us. That's the name of the game.
Absolutely. I love that spirit about you. And, I always walk away excited after a conversation. I want to end this conversation by asking you, what is your message of hope to people who are anxious about lives, about livelihood, about the vaccine, about when will COVID end, when will their salaries come back to 100%, when will they be able to live their life in a regular way pre-COVID? So what is your message of hope in this very volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous world?
Life has always been ambiguous. Life has always been volatile. Life has always been uncertain, my friend. You weren't dancing your way to work and back in 2018, 2019. It's just COVID this time. Next, after COVID, after the vaccination, something else will come up. So first, train your mind to stop looking at it. It's a horrible thing, this pandemic. Hata. Be amazing at your work. Listen, there are no guarantees in life. Even if somebody promises you that after this, there's guarantee, even after this vaccination, they're saying, well, let's watch, maybe it'll last for 6 months and then. So this is going to go on. COVID is not going to go away. Masks are going to remain. The businesses will have taken hit. Many a times businesses would not have taken a hit, but they say, you know what, we got a problem, that's why we can't do it. So listen, be ready to negotiate your way through life. In your mind, don't consider anything that's my right. Anybody who has entitlement will suffer a lot. The way I look at it, and that's what I would start looking at it slightly differently. Start looking at it, therefore, not in comparison to what you had, but with the possibility of what you can create. Start looking at life as a privilege to probably create a whole new journey for yourself. Look at the people around you and you want to make a difference to them. Look at the faces of people in your family, somebody loved that you really love. Look at yourself and say that, hey, listen, you know what? I will make my life count, and then go about finding ways. I want to promise you, if you compare yourself from the past, you will be continuously in judgment. I don't like people who judge. I don't care about people who judge. I love the player. And look at yourself as the player, my friend. Spectators may judge you. Let them judge you. You don't be a spectator. You be the player. Have the capability to take a bouncer on your head. Yes, get bloodied. It's okay. Welcome to life. My son, who's really sheltered child, only child who grew up at home, taken care by a loving mother, suddenly found himself in the midst of everything, studying alone in California. And he was all alone. All his friends were away and they were back in India. He stayed on alone. This person who would joke that I know how to boil water, now cooks food and finds his way around. Welcome to real life. I could not protect him from that distance. He had to take care of himself. I discovered that nobody can protect me. I have to take care of myself. That's the journey. So, dear friend, be open to possibilities and play. Be a player. Don't judge of what you have. Just keep playing. No entitlement. It's a privilege of life. Let's play and create something amazing with our life. That's my invite to you all.
Thank you so much. I said last, but I can't let you go without asking you this question.
Please.
Again, while you accept life it is, give it your best, take one day as it comes. What are for Avid Miner and Ashish Vidyarthi in 2021, what are the milestones you're looking to achieve?
So we are very excited about the consultancy called Nurturing People, because it's going to be more than just me. It's got some extraordinary people whom I'm working with. We intend to work with organizations as they deal with digital transformation. in a way that across functions, across levels, if individuals can see a direct connect of their usability in life. See, a lot of people are feeling that I am not of any use, and therefore they are losing the steam. They're losing their willingness to do that extra bit. What we intend to do in this is that enough of providing people things. It's now time to ignite people to say that, you know what, I will make my life worthwhile. And nurturing people is that ability that each one of us has to nurture not just ourselves, but nurture people around us. I personally feel that when it's like making the naughtiest guy the monitor. So if I am a complaining person, if I get an opportunity to be the nurturing person, then I do not have time to complain. I have the possibility of nurturing and adding value to others. These are not altruistic things. These are things that each one of us can do and do each day. Let's just start doing it, not just at home, not just to our loving parents, but to do it all over. To be generous, to be kind, and to be extraordinary at whatever that we do. And that's one of the things that we are planning at Avid Miner. And we would love to have you on our website, avidminer.com. And do check out my YouTube channel, Ashish Vidyarthi Official. And of course, LinkedIn, we are there. And I love to engage in conversations, and I love to, shall I say, engage in conversations with people who have questions. Because I have a lot of questions and I keep asking questions to people.
Thank you so much. Shukran Bandhu, as you would say.
Al shukran.
मैंने आपकी लाइन चुरा ली है. और I'd like to express my gratitude for always being open to a conversation with us, and it's been a rich conversation, and I hope everyone who has watched it and will watch and will read your thoughts in the magazine on the side will walk away more optimistic, more curious, and always in a discovery mode. Comfort zone, and not worried about the weight of other people's expectations and comments. So I think if you can do that, you yourself will be a happy person. You talked about right at the start that we all want to be happy. So I wish you a very happy New Year. It sounds cliched, but some cliches are true, and I'm sure it'll be a
Let's
happy.
be real.
Thank you for talking to us. God bless you.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आप सबका. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.